TGIF, it's Weather for Weather Geeks, the Friday evening edition. We will bring you up to date in this video on what you can expect over the weekend and beyond, and we'll do a little review of what has happened over the last 24 hours. And we've been, kind of in and out of the rain all day today. It's been kind of a nuisance. Sometimes it wants to rain and you got to duck inside. You got to flip on your wipers and turn on your lights. And then some of the time it's not half bad outside. It certainly was not a very warm day today. Modest rainfall totals over the last 24 hours, generally a tenth to a couple of tenths of an inch, a little bit higher down towards East Liverpool, over into the Newcastle area. But generally speaking, nothing really crazy here when it comes to the local rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. I'll show you where the rain has been quite a bit heavier, which is off to our west. Big-time thunderstorms today that were very slow movers west of I-77 out in through here. Thankfully, these are running out of steam as they come east, and we're not too worried about heavy rain here locally, but these really meant some business when they moved through east-central Ohio, and it prompted some flash flood warnings for areas west of I-77, some Doppler radar estimates here around the Millersburg area of 2 to 3 inches, and this fell over, a handful of hours. So definitely too much rain at one time out there. Let's take a broad view here nationally. The heat is the story in the West. No surprise, it's June, and you expect this in the Southwest, but 110 in Phoenix, 107 in Vegas. Death Valley has been well up into the 1-teens over the last couple of days. Dallas hit the century mark around mid to late afternoon local time today. Again, nothing really unusual for June. Severe weather threats this evening include parts of the High Plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. The reason why you don't see the lightning out here, we actually only can visually display lightning within a certain radius around Youngstown. So yeah, there's lightning out here, but it doesn't show up in our graphics system. All right, what about the weekend? The forecast hasn't changed much. I'm going to sing the same kind of song I've been singing for the last few days about the weekend. It's not a washout. It's going to be kind of like today. You're going to have some intervals of sun, not too many, but some intervals anyway, and certainly some intervals of dry weather. But there could be a shower popping up at just about any point. As we get into the afternoon, I can't even rule out a thunderstorm, a little bit of instability in the atmosphere here locally tomorrow. As we go to the day on Sunday, a cold front approaches from the north and west, and still a pocket of chilly air aloft over us, or in other words, a trough of low pressure. Yeah, there could be some showers trying to crop up, maybe a thunder shower as well. The more sunny breaks we see Sunday morning, it may be one of those self-destructive sunshine kind of a days where we get some sun, and then that leads to a bit of an increase in the instability and an increased chance for wet weather. But once we get through the weekend, high pressure will build in, and that means a beautiful day coming up on Monday. Notice the wind direction here out of the north. The dew points will crash. It's just going to be a great June afternoon coming up on Monday. A few more words about the weekend, though, before we talk about the medium and longer range. We are talking about chances for rain on Saturday. It's the hit or miss variety, and probably the most numerous showers and storms will be in the afternoon. Sunday, kind of the same idea. Most of the pop-up showers will be around and after lunchtime on Sunday. I think Sunday will be a little less active than Saturday. Temperatures this weekend will, much like today, not be that warm for June. 75 tomorrow, 77 on Sunday. That's a couple of degrees below the average for this time of the year. But big change is coming. I've been talking about this all week. The warmth is going to build during the second half of next week. So we go above average by Tuesday and Wednesday and make our way into the upper 80s to around 90 by the end of next week. And that's probably just the start of the pattern. This is a period that will take us through the first part of July. A heat dome building across the eastern U.S., and this will be some of the hottest weather we've seen since last weekend, and it may rival some of the hottest weather we've seen overall this season. We've hit 92 a couple of times. I suspect we're going to be in that neighborhood a couple of additional times during this upcoming hot stretch, starting at the end of next week, and probably it stays consistently very warm to hot through at least the 4th of July, and maybe even a little bit beyond that. So, not much has changed in my thinking there. So here's the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Notice the very high confidence over our region that it's going to be warmer than average. You can pretty much take it to the bank at this point. What about precipitation? I've gotten a few questions about the longer range pattern. Hey, yeah, it's going to turn hot, but is it going to rain as much? And the answer is, there's not much of a signal either way as far as abnormally dry, abnormally wet. The official forecast right now calls for small chances of above average precipitation. So, I don't think we get into a super dry pattern. It's probably not a dry heat, if you will. It's probably pretty muggy. And occasionally there can be probably some instability, showers and storms. But if that heat dome sits over us, we're probably not going to get a front in here very often. So we probably don't have a big severe weather day with tons of heavy rain in that kind of a pattern. But some pop-up renegade isolated stuff, yeah, it's going to be a possibility, I think, as we head into that hot pattern, as we turn the calendar over into July. All right, hope you have a great weekend, everyone. Make sure you're following meteorologist Andrew DiPaolo and meteorologist AJ Harris. Our weekend warriors will keep you up to date on the rain over the weekend. I'll chime in a few times on social media as well. So thanks, as always, for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. And I'll be back here with another geeky look at the weather Monday evening.